Bello. For the longest time, I wanted to make myself the perfect villager trading hall. Zombifying villagers gives you a huge amount of discount, but you will lose that discount over time. So what can you do? I have watched so many tutorials and it seems that everybody suggests that you put the villagers back inside the minecart, send them halfway around the world, and then put them back in their cage. But you know me. Me is Lash, so I have also tried my own methods. We have tried sawing them in half, cryofuel, camp of kindness, and sending them to other planets. Unfortunately, none of them worked. And then I realized the solution was always in front of us. A spruce trapdoor. That's it. What does it mean? It means that villagers are standing on top of a piston. When you want to lower the prices, you lower the villager, and the zombie is going to negotiate for you. Voila. And then of course you throw your potion and feed the apple. That stupid trapdoor was the key because the zombie would be able to touch them without getting on top of the piston. Basically all we have to do is to place down the piston, put a lever and flick it, and this is where the villager goes. And of course the most important thing, the stupid trapdoor. Okay, now that we have a decent haul, what do we do? Well, first off, before we get the villagers, I think it's a good idea to section it off from time to time so that the zombie does not have to travel that long. We want things to be super fast. But let us talk about the villagers. There is a guy from Applied Energistics and he sells you Certus quartz. There is an electrician from Tech Reborn and he sells you advanced circuits. And of course the best ones, the industrialists. They sell you steel and also drills and motors. I thought I would be able to have enough income from librarians in order to purchase everything that I want, but that's not gonna happen. So what we're going to do is that we're gonna have a few stonecutters. We have to find villagers though. Okay, that one is nice. So these are the stonecutters. Hopefully. And I really don't think their trade matters, maybe it does. Yeah, we go with bricks. Well, the first round of negotiations is on the way, and I also thought we were going to have 2 more villagers for Applied Energistics. The rest of them I guess should be librarians, or in case we find something of interest. However, I don't really need that many villagers, and I was thinking maybe we can have a second floor to this thing. So we just rip off the middle section and have an elevator. For the moment, this is going to take care of our most immediate needs, especially steel, which makes me really happy. Where is steel? Yes, here. But until I figure out what am I going to do on the second floor, I think we're just gonna leave it at that. We just cover it just in case somebody wants to get in. I have already lost Papa Felix. Once. Villager trading takes care of a few stuff, but we have massive shortages. My main problem is that yes, I want to go low tech, but machines are incredibly slow. And for everything that you want to craft, you need plates, you need resources, you need things that have to be processed. And speed is incredibly important, so what we're going to do is that we're gonna have a few upgrades. And unfortunately, those upgrades are going to require a tremendous amount of diamonds as well as Nicolite dust, so we're mining. I did upgrade my dank to diamonds and well, we don't have any more diamonds left. I have been mining for maybe around 90 minutes and we have a decent supply of resources. But do you see what I'm talking about? Our power situation is garbage, processing speed is incredibly garbage, and I just learned that coolants are going to lose durability. We need to fix all of this and I have no idea where to begin. I guess the first one has to be power. We're gonna upgrade one of the solar panels. Thank you, thank you. And I'm going to try and make more. For the moment we have 5 advanced solar panels and that should be able to power our machines. Now we need to upgrade those machines. We have a compressor which is Mark IV because I do need a ton of plates. But the problem is that this is how far solar panels are going to take us. Meaning that 5 solar panels can barely power a compressor, then the other machines are not going to work. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to go with an alternative source of power, which is going to be environmentally friendly. Nuclear melons. It does seem that Industrial Revolution has a similar mechanic to mechanism, meaning that if you put melons inside the recycling machine, you're going to get something called biomass. That biomass can go inside the biomass generator, and that will give you 96 LF per tick. And I have no idea what the hell LF means. Luscian Fiona? I don't know. But that is what we're going to go with. I have been checking a ton of recipes and yeah, melon seems to be the best. And the entire reasons that melons are the best is that if you put them inside the botany pot, you get the actual melon, not the slices. So I guess you know what we should do. Okay, this is exactly what I wanted. A machine room. So far we're not actually doing anything super fancy, we're just installing 6 machines, that's it. This entire setup is to operate only 6 of them. But let us start from scratch. We have 18 botany pots, which are making us melons as well as seeds. And yes, the seeds can also be converted into biomass, so we're good. For the moment we only have 2 recyclers which are powering 8 biomass generators. Considering the fact that they burn fuel all the time and they're not even enough in order to power more than 2 machines, we're going to have a column of them. So yes, we're we're going to have more recyclers at the end. Also, configuring the machines is kind of weird. You need a screwdriver in your hand. Took me a while to figure it out. But we have the Mark IV of every single machine. We have the electronic furnace, the pulverizer, the compressor, the fluid infuser, which I don't think it was necessary, but I built it anyways, a sawmill, and a solid infuser. And this is literally what I wanted, being able to process stuff at a faster speed, so that I don't have to AFK. However, we ran into another problem: resources. I'm out of silver. I would be able to go on mine for it, but that's not very sustainable, let us face it. So what we're going to do is that we're going to make a steam quarry. It gives us most of the basic resources that we're going to need, including iron, gold, and silver. Some other resources like Nicolite are going to need an electric quarry, which is not going to happen anytime soon, I'm assuming, because it needs aluminium. Yes. But these things are fine, because I would be able to find them when I'm looking for diamonds. I'm okay with mining as long as I don't have to mine in every single level. Also, one of these days I should start claiming the quests. Thankfully, there is a quest for making the quarry, and it does not seem very complicated. The first obstacle that we have in order to make an actual quarry is the invar gear, because in order to make the bolts as well as the rods, we are going to need a cutting machine, and it has to be from modern industrialization. So here are two more boilers, a mixer, and a cutting machine. I'm not sure if the cutting machine is going to accept water or not, but it doesn't seem so. Or even if it is, I cannot find the recipe. Therefore, we are going to need some creosote oil, and I believe some redstone. Yes, finally. Lubricant. That goes inside the cutting machine, we get some invar, and very slowly, we're going to get some invar rods. Perfection at its finest. And I believe if we cut it again, we get the bolts? Yes. That is correct. We have no shortage of steel or steel gears, and even steel plates. I think we are going to go with 2 quarries. I'm waiting for more invar in order to make 1 more gear, but we're good. Here is the rotary blade. Oh, and the pipe. You know, the thing is, I actually have a ton of pipes, but you don't accept it. What? Oh, it's an item pipe. My bad. That was cheaper. Anyways, steam quarry. I was not paying attention to the recipe, and it does seem this is a massive multi-block structure. Yeah, very good. We have all the blocks. Let us put it here for the moment and see how it looks. This is what I see on thumbnails. Okay, don't you need input hatches, output hatches, etc.? Well, first off, I learned that if you hold your wrench in your offhand, you can see everything. Secondly, I was wondering why am I missing a few blocks, and I think I have realized. We need these guys, the hatches. The input hatch should be for the drills, the fluid input hatch should be for steam, and I guess the output is just for getting the ores. And I'm not really sure, but I think they have missed a few blocks. So input goes here, I don't think it really matters, output can go there, input can go here. So, are you a thing? Yeah. Our dearest villagers are also selling us something called Steel Upgrade. It upgrades bronze machines into steel. And I believe, yep, you sell me the drill. This is just going to be a temporary location for this machine. And basically, I just want to know how it works. Oh, you need a drill. That goes in? I don't know. You're working? Doesn't really output automatically. Maybe it does. Well, we got 1 ore. So every time that stupid progress bar is finished, we get 1 ore. Oh, we get 2. You know what? I'm not picky. It might not be the best thing in the universe, but it's free ore. I have been checking the recipe for the electric quarry, which is going to be a far better substitute. The problem is that this is far, far away. And by far, far away, I mean really far, far away. I don't really want to rush through the Modpack, so what we're going to do is that we're just going to have 4 steam quarries. That's it. It has been a crazy amount of time later, and yes, we have 4 steam quarries. They're actually not that bad. I mean, it does not consume that much fuel. It does consume the drills, which is perfectly fine for us because we can buy them from villagers and we get 4 each time. And it does give us a decent supply of resources. It's not great, but it's decent. I also processed most of them. This is the second try. And yes, this does take care of most of our immediate needs. The problem is it's not enough. As I have already mentioned, Nicolite is one of the most important things that we need. And obviously, ancient debris. And this is why it has been a crazy amount of time later, because I had to try a new quarry. And the other quarry is actually called the mining rig from Industrial Revolution. These are brand new mods for me, so I have no idea how anything works, so I had to try it. Anyways, this quarry is amazing. It's a multi-block, but let me explain it to you. It does require 3 items. One of them is the mining rig drill itself, then you need the mining computer, and you also need some sort of a drill head. And I tried, yes, you can enchant it. And this is where it gets fun. Then what you're going to need is an empty ore data card, and then at least 64 of that ore. But it has to be an ore. Like diamonds. You make yourself a data card encoder, the empty data card goes in, the diamond goes in, and you encode the data card. It does take a few seconds to encode, but now you will have something for diamonds. Now what you need to do is to have the computer. It does require power. You need the rig itself. We can configure it to look better, but for the moment this will do. You put your drill inside, and you also put your data card inside. This is for diamonds, remember. It's gonna cycle 64 times. It does take time, but wait. And it does give us 6 diamond ore. So you are spending 1 stack of diamond ores, but you are getting, I don't know, maybe 6 or 8 stacks, depending on your luck. Although one thing that you should remember is that eventually it's going to run out and you need to recharge it, which is perfectly fine because you're going to make a huge profit, so you can recharge it easy. But one thing that I noticed is that you can fill it in with a lot. I did run a simulation with ancient debris and I put like 5 stacks in. And now it's going to have 322 cycles. At the start, I think it was around 400. Oh, and most importantly, you need to have a chest on top. If you remove the chest, the drill is not going to work. This has to be one of the coolest mechanics that I have ever seen, and I really love it, especially the monitor. Also, you can't break the card encoder. I did learn it the hard way, and I want to see if we can use a cardboard box. It's an expensive machine, unfortunately. You can pick it up. Okay. You can also place it down. Yes, we're good. So that solves all of our issues. I just have to have 1 stack of each and every ore and I have to silk touch them. You can reuse the data cards, but there are diminishing returns. You might notice that the richness is now lower. However, if all is good and well, why are you guys here? Because you're always here when there is a problem. Yes, there is a problem. The setup that I have made is mainly used for these 6 machines, meaning that our generators are just enough so that in case 3 or 4 of the machines are running, the quarry eats through all of my power. So this setup is not going to be enough. If I want to be able to run my quarries all the time, we need more power. It's going to be a very low-tech nuclear reactor. No, I really like the Industrial Revolution mod, so we're going to go with that. There is a heat generator. Oh, this is why we never made it. This is expensive. I did not pay attention to the circuit, but essentially you give it lava, it gives you power. It's not a lot of power, but it's good. That brings up the usual problem of getting lava and the usual solution. Yes. Create. We seem to be at the bottom, and I also made myself 1 stack of fluid pipe Mark IV, 8 buckets per second. I really hope that it's going to be enough. So you're gonna extract, and I forgot the tanks. Oops. Yeah, flight time was over. We have to wait for it to recharge. I know you can't see me, but how's life? Yeah, we have enough charge. We can go home. Yeah, I literally made them and I left them here. So we just put you on top and nothing happens. This is great for... Oh, we got it. I thought I brought the wrong servo, but yeah, we're getting lava. That's good. It's not the mantle. It's hell. One of the perks of having upgraded machines is that crafting things no longer takes an hour. Anyways, here is our heat generator. We just want to know how it works. That's it. We give it some lava and we need the screwdriver. Fluid, back. Are we good? Oh, it needs to heat up. Holy. Which is good because it has to work constantly then. But in the meantime, look at all those ancient debris. This is why we have to do this. I have no idea why you need a potato, but I need an energy trash can because I need to know how much lava is it going to consume per tick. Because I have 8 buckets per second. That's not much. Basically what I'm trying to do is that I really want it to warm up. It's good that it's not linear. 8 buckets per second means that it's 400 millibuckets per tick, correct? This guy is not fully maxed out and it's going to consume, I think, around 80 millibuckets per tick on its own. So 1 hose pulley can power 5 of them. We can have 3 more hose pulleys, right? I literally see no reason why not. Also, you should remember that we are limited by the pipes, which means if that is the case, we should have separate tanks. I lost all of my experience for going back and forth. Yes, we have 4 individual hose pulleys, 4 individual servos, 4 individual pipes, and 4 individual tanks. I'm really hoping that is going to give us somewhere around 1.6 buckets per tick. That should be enough for 16 generators. Don't touch the horsey. You jerk. I have been looking for some sort of a capacitor for the Industrial Revolution mod because, you know, we're not going to run the quarries all the time. And I really just wanted to bank the power. Apparently there is a lazuli flux container. Yeah, the highest tier one can hold 10 million LF. So why is there 5 of them? Oh, this one is creative. Okay, it's one of those things which is going to get exponentially more expensive. I think you need 16 of the basic in order to make one of the highest tier one. Could be wrong. Oh no, you only need 4. Okay. We're good. Mark 4 circuit and Mark 4 flux container. So I can just put you here and you're gonna charge up, no? Why does it show me? Oh, you need to configure it. Yes, we're getting power. I thought before moving on to a new project, maybe we should finish the current one. I call it finished, but there are a few gaps, which I have to fill in later on. And yes, I have went up ahead, made 7 extra generators, and now we have a total of 8 of them. Oh, and by the way, 1 more flux container. However, one thing that we should remember is that we're not really going to expand that way. We need to expand towards the mountain, which is that way. Meaning that setting up the quarries over here is kind of redundant. We need to do it near the lake. You know, we want it to be within render distance of our main base, which is going to be on top of that that mountain. If we go to our mob farm and extend the path by a little bit, we come to this small area over here. And I think this is a decent location. It's also very close to the mountain. Look what I discovered. Configurable chests for modern industrialization. Hey, they look nice. Eventually I want to be able to have 4 drills, so we need to make more. This is within one chunk. That is fine. We can have the computer and the drill somewhere. Now, how big are you? Apparently quite tall, it's 2.5 blocks. I believe a configuration like this for having 4 of them should work fine. And no, not all of them are going to be operational because I don't really need that many resources. This is just in case. Again, I'm not really sure how we're going to hide everything, but we can have our generators here. You know, just in a column. Also, we are using Mark IV cables. We want to be able to use the best of the best just for ores. That goes inside the flux container, and we just have to configure you. Input from the bottom, output from the top. Yes, everything is connected. We should be able to have our tank, and you know, just extract. It's weird because every time you have to configure it, but very good, we're getting some power and we do have a decent energy reserve. So let us get to another project. I don't really want to have that many mobs within my base, so we need to spawn proof it. As usual, we do have a torch which is going to stop mobs from spawning, and this time it's called Big Torch, but there is another mod called Brazier. We would have to make a multi-block structure, and depending on how tall it is going to cover a bigger area. The problem is the living flame, which is something that you would get from a very special illager. I have been reading online and it does seem that we would be able to find him in a jungle temple, which in hindsight I should have maybe marked it on the map. Or maybe a woodland mansion. This is a customized one, but I'm guessing it's the same thing. Yeah, it is the same thing. Oh, nice banners. I like that one. Oh, half of that is missing. Okay, then this trip might not be very successful. I did not manage to find the illager in the woodland mansion, but I went to a new woodland mansion and, well, we didn't find him. But then I saw an island on the map and, well, we are at Y level 300. This is from the Gravestones mod and this is the boss fight. We will do that, but apparently I have to do a lot of exploration in order to summon the boss. I have done a crazy amount of exploration, but I have not found that stupid villager. But thankfully there seems to be a way from Botania itself. I'm not really scared of all the mobs, I'm just scared of creepers. As long as they don't explode, I'm fine. And no, I'm not gonna claim chunks. Because to be honest with you, that's a bit lazy. There is a flower from Botania called the Tiger's Eye, and that's going to scare off creepers. It's also going to prevent them from exploding, and I have made 4 of them. It does have a range of 21 by 21. For the moment, we don't really have an automation for mana, but once we do, we can have a rail network in order to provide every single mana pool that we will have around our base with some mana. So we just give you a bit of mana, we just fill the mana pool by 25% and see how it goes during the night. That's enough. Yeah, you see it's glowing? That means we're fine. And I guess we put another one over here. I have to put them in locations that I would remember. Otherwise it can also be underground, nobody cares. Although mana pools can power flowers within a radius of 6 blocks, so I can put one here. Yeah, you're too far. Yeah, we can have another one here. That should cover my home. One very important thing that we should do is to try and test it. We don't really want to test explosions in action, we want it to be controlled. Okay? Are you gonna explode? Are we good? He can't explode. And he's running away. Stay here and suffer. Well, it does seem that I was very wrong about the mining drill. The configuration that I used to have does not work. The way that it works is that the computer has to be adjacent to the drill, not on top. Because I think the middle section is the important block, not the top one. That should be fake. But on a very positive note, if you have 2 drills next to a computer, you're going to work twice as fast. Anyways, just before we wrap up today's episode, there are 2 things that I want to mention. One of them is regarding this guy. Somebody left me a comment that our Teru Teru is going to emit a redstone signal and we would be able to read that using a comparator whenever it's raining. I had no idea, so I'm gonna change this later on. I just wanted to thank you so much. The other very important thing is our storage. The storage mods which do work with chests have a giant flaw. They're not very efficient because they can put items in multiple chests. For example, we have 21 monazite here. There could be some other in other chests. So storage wise, it's not very efficient. Also, I don't really think they're designed to work with so many chests and it's being finicky lately. So next episode, we have to get into applied energistics in order to have a storage system. A very simple one, nothing too complicated. That does mean we're going to need a bunch of Certus quartz. And that does mean that we're going to need far more emeralds. I really should work on them a bit more. I'm being lazy. We do need the Certus quartz for silicon. Oh, you're full. So do you give me the dust? Yes, good. Did you have any idea? This is how you would charge your first Certus quartz. With a hand crank. I didn't know. I mean, the villagers are selling us fluid crystals, but I was just confused. And basically all I wanted was for the quests to count. Oh, you need 16. That is perfectly fine. I have 200. Anywho, we have done this millions of times, so let me set up something and I'll be right back. You know, at first I thought this is going to be a teeny tiny project, but no, it took 1 hour and a half. Literally 1 hour and a half. But at least we have a setup. At first I used item pipes, servos and filters, but then I was like, yeah, this is applied energistics. We can do this with applied energistics. This is actually very fancier than our entire system that we're going to make next episode, but essentially you put everything inside here and you do get the different processors. Another thing that I had absolutely no idea is that in order to get the flue exhaust, yes, you can use a macerator or a crushing wheel, but there is a recipe in it in the inscribers. Anyways, the reason that we're using different colors of cables is that I didn't want them to connect. But we have automated the inscribers, so we're good. And for the moment, the controller is being powered by 2 solar generators. They're not doing great. But now that our enchantment table is gone, at least we know what to do with the second floor of the library. But with that, ladies and gentlemen, I think it's also a good time to wrap up the episode. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope you enjoyed it. Till the next one, bye bye.